A 1 2, a 1 2. Mic check, 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 check. La 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 la. Got that Method Man and Redman stuck in my head, man. I should play it. La 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 la. I gotta bring down these tabs. La 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 la. La 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 la. What's going on, man? Just waiting a couple seconds. Let y'all join so you can see the intro. Bodega Maya, New York, what's going on? Corey Lee was good. Corey Lee, 718 boys in the building. Queens get the money all day, every day. Want to get into. No more bombs today, huh? No more of these. Not today, man. Let's get right into it. AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Yeah. You know who I be. And of course, this is AllBall TV with your favorites. Oh, I think Flea wants me to send him the link. Flea, you have access, bro. These guys don't realize y'all have access, man. Let's get right into this, man. I saw this. This was interesting. Before my compadres come and join. What was interesting, Fabian? I'll tell you. Nike has announced that they will not give Caitlin Clark a signature shoe until they give one to Aja Wilson. I'm going to say Aja before I say Asia anymore because Aja is so... I like that name. Look who it be. Hold on, let me zoom right
Look,
into
what are you...
Yes, Flea. Hold on.
Live. Big Flea. Never the little one.
Yes, Flea. How are you, sir?
What's
Suit
up,
and tie. What's going on?
I mean, nigga, you tell me. You've been live for 4 minutes. Where's the memo?
I said live 7:35.
Yo, send me the link, man.
Why do I have to send y'all the link? You guys can just press StreamYard.com.
No,
and
I'm not
access.
savvy like you. Like, get this under... I'm not savvy like you. Send me the link, man. That's it.
No.
That's it.
No.
That's it.
No.
That's it.
No.
Got me starting off on the wrong foot because I can't even get into my own show. Like, fuck, like.
You know, if somebody tells you, what if your girl told you, right? I couldn't even get in the house yesterday. You be like, there's a key. There's a key on your phone.
You sound like Gil. bad analogies, bad examples.
It's not. You got a key to the crib, and you knocking on the door still. I gotta come from all the way upstairs.
Niggas, you put the top lock on. Nigga, you put the top lock on.
There's no lock. You're a liar. You're lying to yourself. Why you so frustrated, man? That flea in the building?
No,
that flea?
Detective Flea. Fuck out of here, Fish. I ain't in a good mood now. Now everybody Bodega Mayor.
Shout out to Bodega Mayor, man.
Big shout out to Bodega Mayor.
He's laughing about something. I want to know what at all. What it is about. No chill flea. One of those two we're gonna get you. One of those two will get you. RP in the building. We call him RP. Top Lock Fabian.
Yeah, Top Lock Fabian.
What was? I forgot what you said yesterday. That was crazy. Did you want to react to that, or we're gonna delete that?
React to what?
Caitlin Clark. Nike says no signature shoe until Aja Wilson gets one. I like saying. I hope her name is Aja because Asia.
No, her name is Asia. Say her name correctly.
See, everybody no, but everyone was correcting me saying Aja, and I'm like, I thought it was Asia.
Who corrected you? How about that?
A bunch of people. It's been half and half. Anybody I talked to about this. Clearly, you and I have not spoken about this. You got me turned up, and I got my coffee. What you want to do, Flea? Detective? I ain't got no answers for you.
I don't want answers from none of you niggas. Y'all don't have the answers. You heard what Ye said. You heard what Ye said. Y'all don't have them.
It's Aja.
How you know, Fish? You talk to her? Shit.
So
nah, I'm talking shit.
Nike has announced that Caitlin Clark, no soup for you. Caitlin Clark hasn't received a signature shoe from Nike yet. And it's because Aja Wilson needs to come first. Whoa, Nike, slow down. Based on conversations with people in the know, it indeed has something to do with WNBA MVP and Nike athlete Aja Wilson. But beyond Wilson, it's about a culture at the company that's more concerned with quelling noise rather than making it, as Nike once used to. Is that a fake? Is that a fake? Is that the fake? Is up?
No.
Remember yesterday we were saying who hides the hate better, men or women?
Men or women.
And I'm not saying she's hating on her. I just think they don't know each other. Sometimes you hug people, you just like, oh, what's going on? And somebody hugs you like, I don't want to hug you. You're mad sweaty. Did you used to do that? Dap people up like that, mad sweaty, with your jersey?
No, I wasn't one of those. Fist pump, tap on the ass, something like that. But I don't want to hug none of you niggas. Get away from me.
You just tap them on the ass?
Like I said, fist bump or tap on the ass. That's it. I don't want to hug none of you niggas.
So what do we think about did Nike tap Caitlin Clark on the ass? That was crazy. But they went crazy in that paragraph. It's Nike. Lorenzo, what's going on, baby? I gotta do a better job. I'm sorry, members. Every time I gotta leave it up, the comments open now, because when y'all listen, man, we got 12 members, Flea.
Oh man, and Lorenzo is one of them. Appreciate you, Lorenzo.
Lorenzo in the benzo. You kidding me?
For real. Really appreciate you.
1,000%. What is that statement to you? It's about a culture at the company that's more concerned with quelling noise rather than making it, as Nike once used to.
Well, first and foremost, I pride myself on having an extensive vernacular. Quelling is a word that I haven't used too often. So help me understand what they're trying to say by quelling noise. I ain't too afraid to say I don't know a word.
Quelling is
calming noise down.
Yeah, quelling is to lock it in, like to shrink it in a way.
Okay.
I'll look up the exact definition.
Okay. So if that is the case,
to put real quick, to put an end to, typically by the use of force to quell the disturbance. Oh, subdue or silence someone, suppress.
Thank you, Fish. Appreciate you, OG. So I mean, what I get from that is Nike is trying to do yo, RP, man. RP is crazy, yo. when that gat walked by. Y'all know what that gat is. Y'all know. Y'all know.
How does they use that in Australia?
Yo, all people be saying things that I be wondering if he really in Australia. He
Right.
said he in Australia, but then he said something like gat. I don't know if they say that out there.
I don't want to tell you where he's really at right now. I know where he's at right now, but he's not in Australia right now. He's Australian, if I'm not mistaken. The
Oh,
Aussie.
he's Australian. Well, where's he at?
I'm not listening. Are you listening? You came in here fisticuffs.
Wait a minute.
I just said he's not. I don't want to reveal where he's at. Not sure if I'm at liberty to.
I'm in Houston, Texas. You're in New York City.
Allegedly.
They know that.
Allegedly.
So now RP has to have anonymity up here. His name is already not RP.
Exactly. So why would I reveal where his location? He never told me. Yeah, you could say that.
But why do you know?
I'm in Australia. What do you mean? Oh, I got the wrong guy then. I'm sorry. I was talking to somebody else. They told me we were in Japan. My bad, RP. So there you go. He's in Australia. What do you mean? Yeah. How the Gets looking in Australia, huh?
Nah, man. I think I don't think Nike is
hold on. I was not in a great mood until you came in here all aggressive. I said, "Oh yeah, let me calm down. I got a match, please, energy."
Yeah.
And then now we got RP, Fish. I gotta tell you guys put me in a great mood just now. The coffee. My son is eating his dinner. Amazing.
What's for dinner?
Come on, man. Arroz con guandule, meatballs, and some veggies.
Yo, listen, Papa. Listen. A condure, I don't know what that is.
Rice and beans, man. And really, rice and beans are what's the little beans? What's what gandules again? Because you have beans, the big beans, garbanzos. You have guandules that are smaller. Peas.
You admittedly say you don't cook, so you put that together for young Jules.
I have a microwave.
Got a microwave. You don't even know how to turn the stove on. You made your coffee?
Yes. I can make my coffee. My wife makes it better though. She used to make it with cinnamon in the pot. No. She's added a twist to it. I said, what? That was crazy.
You said cinnamon?
Yes. She stopped for a while because somebody told her, that makes what? Somebody told her that she stopped making it. I was like, why you stop putting cinnamon in there? She goes,
yeah, you over 42, bro. You can't, you over 40.
Right. And then I'm like, are you trying to insinuate anything? I thought I was going, you know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. We got to call Shannon. Shannon got the sponsorship now. Unc got the sponsorship with the pills.
All I've heard is you have to nibble on it. Don't.
Unc said you got to put it under your tongue. Just leave.
He's going crazy. That's why he's like that. So you all aggressive on TV.
Unc said, just put it under your tongue, man. Just forget it's there, man. You be ready to go.
That's why he's popping out his shirt with his muscle. He popping steroids and them joints.
Dude was working out with Ronnie Coleman.
Nah, come on, man.
Come on, bro. He was working. I mean, he interviewed him, but he's working out with Ronnie, Mr. Olympia, former Mr. Olympia. Like,
I don't know.
It's insane.
Do we not just want not to talk about this? That we could move to the next topic.
No, I think no. Nike should. She's gonna get a shoe. Let's call that what it is. She's gonna get a shoe. But, well, first question: is she a Nike? Is she repped by Nike? Is she part of Nike already?
Well, and clearly, because they're saying they're not gonna give her the shoe. They're gonna go. They gotta go.
Okay, so if she's Team Nike or whatever you want to call that, then I would say that they're not doing that right. I don't see why they can't launch a signature shoe for her same time for Asia Wilson. I don't see how that is a conflict of interest. You have your best rookie and you have your best player in the league. Both polarizing, both having amazing seasons. Asia just won her third MVP, right? That's putting her in a certain class. And then quiet as kept, Caitlin Clark had an amazing year this year as a rookie.
Mm.
Her rookie numbers are comparable to all 3 seasons Cheryl Swoops won MVP. Just to let everybody know. But anyway,
she's not quite the defender of Cheryl Swoops.
She's not. I said this to you face to face.
I just wanted to take credit for it.
I said
You
this to
know the person who says it more recent gets the credit for it.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm gonna just keep repeating it like I came up with it. Lee, did you know that Cheryl Swoops is a better defender than Caitlin Clark?
Hey, you breaking news. You're an asshole. Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't think. Listen, it's not gonna be too long before she gets a shoe. Let me say that. By the time next year rolls around, they might have a shoe. They might pop a shoe off before the next WNBA season even starts. Right? Like they can act like they don't want to go with the tide, right? Everybody is loving Caitlin Clark, but why not go with it? She deserves it.
Well, she's clearly. We know. Well, she is the magnet. Come on, like it's so overblown that they all go crazy over her. She's polarizing. She's what happens in the modern days with the modern day superstars. Who's a modern day superstar that isn't polarizing? Like John Moran for a second wasn't polarizing, right? Like Ant-Man.
Oh, I thought he always was polarizing.
You thought he was okay with the Warriors fans? You thought he was polarizing?
I thought he was polarizing just how, when you looked at him, you was locked in. The locks, the tattoos, like he was ingratiating himself into the culture of basketball, right? He's an NBA player, but as much as we attach Allen, and I'm talking about Allen Iverson, to the culture, great player, but the people love Allen Iverson. The people were loving Ja Morant. That's why that thing with that gun thing hit. It disappointed so many people because so many people were latching their wagon onto him. So I thought Ja was polarizing.
I think Ja's a great comparison with Iverson. He is the new Iverson in terms of must-see TV.
Yeah,
Iverson was that. He was a watch like that. He just was. But Steph Curry maybe is the only one that's not polarizing. Like, I hate him. The only time he becomes polarizing when you say, "Oh, Magic, he's the best point guard," then it becomes polarizing. But he himself, LeBron is polarizing. Kobe was polarizing. But even Kobe was not in his era. But in this era, everything is polarizing. You throw a thing out there, and somebody's got to choose a side of nothing. They just make a beef up.
Everything is A or B,
right?
Or top or bottom. Pause. That was crazy. That was crazy. Left or right.
Especially as I transition into Caitlin Clark again, but she's polarizing. Obviously, it wasn't. Then again, I don't know. You never know what they do in the background. She might not even be in control of if she has an agency. She doesn't know who's in the farm out there on Twitter and what they're really putting out there. What we've learned, like with these political people, they go, Russia, and Facebook, whatever. They have these secret little campaigns to start shit online.
Yeah.
Right. So who knows if they're really trying to push David Portnoy still right now? You're like, yo, man, you got to investigate the foul on. We saw it live. It was like, bro, you see the way they asked the girl too? Did you when I just forgot the girl's name I just seen with the big eyelashes that she's on the team that beat her the team that beat the Indiana Fever when she hit Caitlin in the eye with her nails. You're not hearing about this controversy?
Nah.
Oh wow. Okay. So when she got fouled, she got hit in the eye, and they're going crazy over the WNBA. And then you have
the recent foul when she was going to the rim and she got hit.
No, she didn't go to the rim. She like pump faked and passed the rock off.
Okay.
So now they're asking the girl to keep making a big deal, like, oh, she poked the girl in the eye. It was on purpose, and it was like, if it was on purpose, that was the illest, purposeful assault of all time. And she deserves to not get any. She deserves more credit for it if that's the case, because it was slick enough for me. And even that is now blown up more because it's Caitlin Clark. You wouldn't have cared if that was every other girl. And if that was Angel Reese, boy, oh boy, I wonder what you guys would have said. But I digress. Part of the reason why all of this is blowing up is the reason why you say what you just said. Why isn't there a Caitlin Clark, Asia Wilson campaign, Rookie of the Year? that's the perfect way to really do a commercial. Regardless if you run separate commercial for them afterwards or at the same time.
Right, if you run it separately, I don't see why Nike wouldn't capitalize on the moment, right? I think they're trying to not be like the crowd or whatever. Because the reason why I asked if Caitlin Clark was a part of Nike already is because if she doesn't get this shoe in a timely fashion, she could go somewhere else and go get a shoe, like, or go be a signature athlete for Adidas, for Puma, for. I'm just naming other. There are other competitors to Nike now. Nike is not the end all be all anymore. They're the top dog, but they're not the end all be all anymore. So that's why I was asking if she was a Nike signature athlete.
That's why we have computers for you people that just want to be smart asses and be like, well, how did you guys know? I see you guys in the comments. You guys can do your research beforehand. No, we're not little jerks like you that go look it up and then leave it in the comments. I know exactly what you're doing. A lot of stats out there that there's very few people that have the encyclopedic mind. Shout out to Fish. We spoke the other day. He's like, yo, I had to go back and do my research, man, because I know when we going at it, we got to battle for real. And it's like, damn, I appreciate that.
I pride myself. We talk all the time. I pride myself on being like historian and can spit off, but I'm human, right? I gotta go back and really refresh my memory on what stuff looked like. And people always talk off the whim, and everybody's worried about pride. I can't be wrong. Shut the fuck up. Yes, you can be wrong. We all can be wrong.
Right, and that's the number one thing actually with being in front of the microphone, that people are scared to be wrong. And the more and more I've seen the guys from ESPN and wherever else are just like, yo, y'all be dead wrong. And you did all that research, you got all those producers and are still wrong. There's no way we have that much access, Flea. That's why a little more access is a wrap. We get to go boop boop. It's touch of a button, you're getting all this stuff. So back to
they got people in their ear. They got people in their ear.
And they still get it wrong. Yelling. Nike's missing the boat with this.
Yeah, I don't
but hold on,
how they're putting that together. But
we say that, but Black Lives Matter after the pandemic. This is all post George Floyd. Like, is that lingering still for them? Like, and also the Caitlin Clark thing with her being so polarizing, they don't want to just have her. If she can't see you in their mind, she can't. Caitlin Clark cannot get the first signature shoe or a signature shoe before A'ja Wilson.
But
that's what they're worried about.
Because you know why? We love A'ja. A'ja's the best player in the NBA, in the WNBA, bar none. I don't think that's debatable right now.
Real quick,
but
because all both thought I was crazy. The gap between A'ja Wilson and who would you say is the second best player?
Who would I say is the second best player in the WNBA?
Give me a top five, because look, this is crazy.
I would say A'ja. I would say Breanna Stewart. I would say A'ja. I would say Breanna. I would say.
Wow.
Yeah, because I haven't had to think about that. I mean, I could run off names, but how do I want to rank them? We ranking them right now. Like, I can run off a bunch of names that I think are good, but we want to rank these women properly. And I think A'ja and Breanna Stewart right now are at the top of the list. I think Nafisa Collier from the Minnesota Lynx, she may be in the conversation.
So let's stop right there. There's a gap.
Jackie Young is the guard for Las Vegas Aces. For me, I think she's very good. I don't know where she would be top, but
the gap between A'ja Wilson and, let's say, Breanna Stewart's number two, whoever's number two, is significantly bigger than.
It's significant, but Breanna Stewart a dog.
Like, not saying they just seem to be the overwhelming favorites to come out of.
Breanna just won MVP last year, I think.
But there's a gap.
There is.
So in the NBA, There's really no gap to me. Like Joker's not by far. If you like Joker, he's not by far better than Embiid, and he's really better because Embiid is injured, doesn't take care of himself. He won the MVP though. Giannis is always in the conversation. Or SJ trying to sneak in there. There's no real gap between Joker and everybody else to me. Not like that.
Well,
Asia Wilson's that's why she's like Serena right now. She's looking like Serena right now. That's dominant.
That's why for me, like how we rank NBA players now is so like it's cool to do it now because the gap is not as huge. At one point, we're not get your emotions out of it for a second, everybody. But at one point, Bron was here and everybody else was down here. And then you start doing number 2 and on for a long time.
I'm not gonna say anything that's gonna tick you off again because we got you to calm down. So I'm gonna leave that alone.
What was my directions? I said, take your emotions out.
Exactly.
And be logical and understand for a stretch, Bron was here and everybody else was we're around somewhere.
So I'm gonna leave it like that because I'll inject some emotion. I'll put some like what you call it? Some starter fluid on Flea. He's gonna go crazy. Why would you say that? 2 days in a row? I'll leave it alone, Flea. But
I'm trying to be nice to Corey Lee, but Corey Lee, relax. We watch more WNBA than you've ever watched. Calm down. We wanted to rank them.
And I definitely don't watch, and that's why I asked Flea all the questions about that. And I go off a whim, a lot of highlights, and I rely on my I guess.
Yes. All right. This season, Arike Ngumbawale, she's probably second or third. That's not the guard from the Dallas Wings.
He's super nice.
She's tough.
Super nice.
Incredible. Yeah, she's
a show. She's a show. She's the one that was going. She had like 23 pointers in the All-Star game.
Yeah, she was going off. She's tough.
Don put me on. He's like, yo,
she's tough.
Okay. So, but again, she ain't no age. Asia is a two-way player. You could just tell she's super dominant. Asia being it's marketable is not the word. It's just Caitlin Clark is just simply, whether you like her game more or not, it's just it has way more to do with the polarization of it. Nike doesn't want to deal with that shit. They don't want to put Asia first, and then you have Twitter going against them crazy. Like, how are you gonna give one the first? They don't want any problem with that. They see what's going on ESPN. They still having issues.
And people lazy too, because they'll swing it as a racial thing tue. Like people lazy, and they'll just lean into that. Oh, that's the easiest way to do it. If homegirl got a shoe, if Caitlin Clark got a shoe, that would be the easiest out.
Right.
Or one of them. I'm not saying it'd be the first one, but one of them.
Because the person I thought of was Michael Jordan, but it's like, how are you gonna bring up Michael Jordan? The Michael Jordan in the WNBA? It's like we're talking about in terms of bringing people to the game, in terms of bringing people to your to buy some sneakers. Dear Lord, Michael Jordan was that. He sold 100 million shoes in like the first 3 months of Nike's existence.
You gotta put that one up. I'm sorry. You gotta put that one. This nigga RP is crazy.
While we're talking about the WNBA, take your emotions out of it is the last line Flea drops on the ladies as he orders them in Uber.
I can't even drop them home, RP. I got a car. I drive. I can't drop them home.
He just told you to. No, because if you dropping them off, that means that's even more of a chance of an emotional attachment.
Right, because now I watch them go in the door, watch them close the door. I don't even know if they make it home. Well, I do know if they make it home in the Uber, but
no, no. Quite the contrary. You flip that. It's not that you watch them go home; it's that they watch you take them home. Now they're filled. Now you reactivating certain things in their DNA they never had. Big Flea.
Never the little one. Never the little one.
We need a girl to say that. Big Flea. Yeah, never. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Y'all know that drop. Ice and Ish got new Ice and Ish. Yeah, I need that. I'm gonna get my Shannon on and get somebody to record it. Just pass you the audio. Let you cut it up how you gotta cut it up.
This is why the newfound WNBA, they don't get it. Like, we've been talking like this about sports. When you enter our sports dog world, is very macho, and we approach. I want to get into that, Flea.
What you want to get into? Fish crazy.
The girl Andrea called on ESPN. Yes.
Do you got the clip? Because when you
I can find it.
When you hit me, I tried to get it. I tried to turn it on live actually because I wasn't at work at the moment. And you was like, "They're killing your girl Andrea."
No, they're trying to jump her. Is what I said.
Yeah, because Shannon was talking spicy. He was letting the bass was carrying, and you could see her and Molly. Molly tried to help her and kick Molly in the back, like, shut the hell up.
Was this it? So this is Andrea or Andrea. I'm sorry, Andrea. Oh, beautiful. Andrea, she's beautiful. And she's
bust your ass.
I don't listen, man. Wait. I do mind that.
Take it easy on me, Andrea. Bust your ass.
She's a pretty wow, she's beautiful.
Extremely beautiful and a hooper.
And then what I like, so this is her, Andrea Carter on ESPN's First Take. Look at
why he look. Nah. Somebody gotta say it. I gotta say it. Shannon be looking like a tranny sometimes, bro.
Oh no, yo, you a wildin'.
He be looking wild.
We gotta use different words, man.
Oh well, tell me what the words are. He looks. He looks wild.
Can't say Quasimodo.
What can I say?
You could say Quasi Hermie. I don't know. Let's get back to this.
I gotta be able to say something. I gotta be able to tell the truth.
Stephen A. Smith is salty.
Yeah, it looks like a they wilding on him. They wilding on him.
What they said?
Fish is wilding on him.
No, that nigga. And we just said he was working out. We just said he was working out with Ronnie Coleman.
He was working out with Coleman. We're doing the science right now. That's crazy. Yo, come on, man.
Listen, listen, Gilbert. If you think we flame you, what you got to say about that? Chill out, man. We go at everybody, man.
Everybody.
Clickbaiting. No, we just us. We having fun out here. So Andrea Carter was on ESPN, back on ESPN for a while because I didn't see any WNBA.
Wait. The sporting page said he looks like a Shannon. They're going crazy. That was great. That was a good one. I play. My fault, Ray. I gotta get out the comments. My fault.
I gotta clip all this shit up. God damn it. Can you resist the comments for 10 minutes, please? We'll get back to them, man.
I'm sorry.
I'm not going to work, man. Are we good?
That doesn't mean I'm here for 2 hours and 2.5 hours.
Okay, but I'm not saying 2.5, but about an hour and a half.
Go.
Did you like my tone? How about
Baby Flea was looking at you like you had 10 heads yesterday. Like, I need my dad. What are y'all doing?
We were responding to somebody going crazy on us.
She looked at me because the top stairs is up there. So she looked down at me. She's I'm working.
Bedtime, father.
Yeah. Let's get back to it. Let's give
it one more try. Andrea Carter was on ESPN's First Take for the first time in a long time. Ever since they went at it about the whole Caitlin Clark thing.
Where's Monica McNutt? And why hasn't she been on? Anyway, I digress.
Exactly. We'll get to that. Stephen A. Smith is still salty after Monica McNutt cooked him in that viral segment ESPN never uploaded to their YouTube. They're so sad. They're now abruptly editing out female guest responses to make him look good. They're doing all this to protect his fragile ego.
I hear you, right? I hear you 100%. But another level of noise was coming from people. You were one of them who also tried to create a picture around Caitlin that the league was against her based on the actions of less than 5 former players or current players, which also creates a lot of noise. Like we saw during the All-Star game, the league and the players in this league like Caitlin. They enjoy Caitlin. They had so much fun with Caitlin. So there was noise created from every single
said was pointing the finger directly at you. because I'll
No,
come in
not
your
me.
defense.
Yeah,
I'll
not
come
me,
in your
not me.
defense about that. But let
For
me
sure.
also make this a point. You're not entirely accurate with what you just said, because
So see, I guess they chopped that up on
What is he about to say,
ESPN.
Fabian?
I'm about to click on this right here.
Oh, I wanted to hear what he was about to say, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm clicking the video so we can watch more of the segment. But it was intense, and you could tell Andrea, she just didn't want any parts of it. More seconds. All right, 5 more seconds. All right, YouTube, thanks.
I wanted to see what that goofy had to say because he was about to say something that she wasn't right about. That can't be the thing. That can't be the running theme.
What's that?
Of you getting you think you doing something by bringing women on the platform. Pause it because she's talking. I don't want people to miss.
I think she's just explaining the game right now. It's because it's 18 minutes long. I'll look for it while you talk.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I'm watching the formula that he's trying to put together, him and the rest of that, producers, whoever picks the talent, because he always talks about he picks the talent. Everybody that's on here is handpicked by me. Well, if you're handpicking these people, specifically these women who are covering the WNBA for you, because you don't watch, you're not in tune watching the WNBA. I'm not trying to slight you, but if you're trying to latch your wagon onto something that's catching like wildfire, like watch the game, be a part of what they turn this into, strictly knowing what to say or the right things to say about Caitlin Clark. When in fact, if it turns into a conversation about WNBA basketball, them two niggas, they would look bad. They would look bad. Monica Minut would run circles around him. Andre Carter would run circles around him because they cover it. They cover it. When the conversation is about Caitlin Clark and her effect on the league and what the league should do and how they should promote it, Ray. Yeah, they're comfortable in that space because you could debate that. But you can't debate facts on watching the game. And when they get into that, they never have her up there with that. They never have them up there just strictly talking about the New York Liberty and the Atlanta Dreams series. Like that's, you know what I'm saying? That's what it should be.
But it's how often do they have Tim Legler up there? Even during the playoffs or whenever it is, and it's a big game, it's usually mostly the Lakers and whatever's controversial. So that was always my thing with the Monica McNutt going up there, and it was like, you should have been talking with the WNBA.
Corey Lee got his foot on my neck tonight. I love Corey. Corey's the illest, man. He said, "Don't take about time, nigga."
So this is Monica McNutt. I'm sorry, Andrea Carter on ESPN's First Take with Stephen A. Smith and sorry, Shannon Sharp. I was gonna say something crazy.
I know you was. You're a nut.
we're saying greatness is on the way.
Stephen A., I would be remiss if I didn't say this. A lot of this noise came by people that were sitting on this network. They tried to minimize her, said, well, you giving her all this credit. What about the women that came before her? What the women came
Yo,
before,
both of these dudes
all this credit.
are so super spicy. Look at Shannon Sharp, the way he talks, and then look at after he makes that statement, look at Stephen.
He sits back like this, and all she's doing up there is continuing to smile, continuing to have that pleasant look on her face, as women do. You know what I'm saying? Like she's inviting conversation. These niggas be trying to be bullies to women. Go ahead.
Like a lady. Look at this chump,
that was sitting on this network. They tried to minimize her, said, well, you giving her all this credit. What about the women that came before her? What the women came before her, what they did cannot be taken away. That ain't got nothing to do with Caitlin Clark. But there was a lot of people trying to make sure they keep Caitlin Clark in her place, because what you're doing, if you give her all this shine, you minimize what they done. You can't minimize what Maya Moore or Candace Parker or Lisa Leslie or Lauren Jackson or Diana Taurasi or Simone Augustus or any of the other great players. That Caitlin Clark, what she's doing doesn't minimize what they've done. But we should have been giving her the credit. We saw the ratings. We saw the merchandise sales. We saw the attendance. But y'all want to make it about something else. Oh, what about the women that laid the foundation? What about this? What about it? That ain't got nothing to do with Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is box office. She's doing this. And instead of giving her credit, y'all tried to make it about, oh, y'all poo-pooing the old guard.
Did Stephen A make the word box office in sports like a thing?
I mean, that's his way of talking. That's his way of saying somebody it needs to be watched. He doesn't, because I'll tell you this much. Even his breakdown on actual basketball players now, he's not good at that either.
Who, Stephen A?
Yeah, he's not good at that anymore.
But what is he going to break down? What do you expect him to break down?
He calls Kyrie Irving box office. That's it. He don't break. There's no breakdown of what Kyrie Irving is actually doing out there. Kyrie Irving is a 50, 40, 90 guy. So for a guy that is that efficient, you should be able to talk more about him than just he's box office.
I don't expect him to do that. That's why
you don't expect that now. You don't expect that now, Fabian, because you've watched the maturation from him covering Allen Iverson in the mid 90s to late 90s and him actually having to write. But hear me out for a second, Fabian. Like that approach of being a beat writer is completely different than him being the guy at ESPN. His where he was at, he had to give a damn about what was going on basketball wise. That's why it's so disheartening about this dude, Stephen A. Smith, because he has morphed into a character and who this person on TV is now. At one time, he was pounding the pavement and had to be a part of the culture. He had to be a part of it. He was in them high school gyms covering Stephon Marbury. He was in Philly covering early Allen Iverson. Like, he had to be in the trenches. So when he does this goofy shit, it bothers people that know his history.
But I don't think even back then I would ever look to even report. I don't look at any reporter to dissect nothing. That's just how I've always been. I look for them to report me the stats. They don't tell me how Kyrie Irving was in practice. He worked on his left hand. I mean, they might report that, but I don't look forward to them breaking down the game. He shot this many free. We always had to deep dive into that. Stephen A. Smith was even worse his first go around with ESPN. The way he called people out their name and everything like that. Like, you should. It was funny to us because it was shocking because nobody did that. Then Skip Bayless when it came on after him and did that. That's why Tim Legler has always been a top favorite of ours on ESPN because they're going to go to him and he's going to break the game down. That's who I expect to do it. And not just because he's a player, because Zach Lowe's not going to get enough credit, but Zach Lowe does that. I don't know if he played basketball. I'm going to him because he's going to tell me who shot from where on the shot chart, what schemes they went to. He can do that too. Tim Legler is the same kind of JJ Redick before he was a Lakers coach. These are the guys we're going to. That's why JJ Redick used to run circles around Stephen A. Smith when they weren't on the agenda tip. Once they got on the agenda side, he was stepping in Stephen A. circle. And it was like, now you're arguing some bozo shit. But this right here so far with Stephen A. and Shannon Sharp, to your earlier point, this is where they can argue with Andrea Carter about. They can't argue with her about X's and O's. She's just breaking the game down. But you could tell Shannon Sharp was mad, sassy, and Chief Small Soul because he wanted to bring this back up. Stephen A. leaning back, right? Because they wanted to call her out.
But that's what it's about at this stage for them. It's not about impressing the casuals, the diehard fans, and the people who are just trying to learn the game. It's not about teaching anymore. I think I brought this up yesterday, bro. Like I said, when I watched Gil, I had to learn how to sift through the bullshit because if I listen when he's talking hoop, oh yeah, he's amazing. He's gonna teach you something. But
he could do that, right? He can report, he can do what Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp do, go be polarizing, but they can't do what he does and break down basketball.
Absolutely right, Fabe. Like absolutely right. They can't do it. And so my issue is that they have like even Shannon, like he's completely leaned into the hyperbole, and the banter and the bull. I'm trying to stay away from it, but the bullshit, right? On Undisputed, we watched his character grow, but one thing for sure, him and Skip were gonna have great debates about football. Him and Skip were gonna have great debates about basketball. I don't see any of his knowledge being exposed on ESPN. You mentioned it. I'm gonna give it back to you. You mentioned it the other day about, and me and you were talking about. It's like him and Stephen A are too buddy up there. At some point, somebody's gonna have to. Okay, you got to go to this side. I got to go to this side, and we got to do this for 2 hours just so people don't think like, you know what I'm saying? It's not authentic anymore. It's just not. So I don't know. I'm rambling at this point with them, but they just if they put an ounce of authenticity in it and not worrying about their bosses or worrying about ratings or worrying about, just be y'all, because y'all are too connected not to notice sometimes y'all up there saying some bullshit.
No, but that is them. That's who they are. They are sassy individuals, and they hate. That's what I
think
said
they've
about.
Turned into that, Fabian. That's what I'm upset about.
They've always been sassy bochincheros. It's just that now we're seeing, bro. Shannon Sharp has never had this much light. How much time on the air does Shannon Sharp have? That's what Joe Rogan always said. You're gonna mess up when you're talking to a bunch of people all day long and you're recording it. So somebody's gonna catch you and then clip it up and be like, "Look at this idiot." It's like Shannon Sharp's gonna have a bunch of moments like that because you're not a trained speaker like that from your whole life. You were a trained football player. It's not an easy thing to do. People catch us all the time in the comments. You didn't know Steven Jackson had 3 seasons of 20. Who cares, bro? Right? You're gonna catch us too. We speak for a living now. Okay, so with them though, it's like we dabble in it, but and that's what I really wanted to get to. The way Shannon is speaking, we talk like that about everything. When it's a barbershop, we do talk. That is the tone about anything. I don't care what it is. So with Andrea, she's sitting there and just keeping her composure is still kind of uncomfortable because you yelling at the top of your lungs. I don't know why you're yelling for, Shannon. Who you competing with, right?
It's just that's a tough spot for those sisters to be in. And what I mean by that is, you call it what you want, man. If they gave the same, Monica gave the same energy back. We haven't seen her since.
I don't know. See,
you know what I'm saying? Like if Andrea said, "You niggas is wilding," I'm about, not those words, but y'all wilding. Hold on, let me let y'all know. And that neck start moving, and you know what I'm saying? Like we would look at her, the masses, not me and you, but the masses would look at her like she can't keep her composure on national TV. They giving her a shot to be on First Take, ESPN, instead of actually looking at it as she's taking this opportunity to defend herself, 1, to put some respect on the women's game, WNBA, 2, and 3, let you guys know I know what I'm talking about. They need somebody up there, like even Molly. They back Molly into corners sometimes, and Molly can't even come out swinging because it's like, all right, I gotta be cool and let them be them.
Because there's no. That's why I'm a little disappointed in Joy Taylor as well, because she felt like she was someone who sounded like she knew the game, and then she was the one who could be like, when it was her between Skip and Shannon, she could push back, and she seemed like she's a little.
I enjoyed the show. That was early. She was the first moderator.
Oh, okay.
She when Undisputed started back in what, 16, 17, whatever that was, she was the first one.
And you said Monica McNutt. She called out Stephen A. Smith, basically calling him jealous. All right. So Monica McNutt insists she and Stephen A. Smith remain on good terms following an on-air argument earlier this year. You mean to tell me that nobody in the NBA and NFL get jealous? Why is this a thing that women can't be? The numbers aren't the numbers he's going after. Now she's speaking to Monica McNutt is speaking to Stephen A. Smith's own jealousy as he seeks to become the highest paid talent at ESPN. This is dangerous waters. The numbers he's going after because of McAfee, Aikman, Buck. He might say they're raising market value. But at the bottom of that is they're not about to get paid more than me. Sounds like jealousy to me, but I haven't seen Inside Out 2.
That's a great one right there. That was good, Monica.
McNutt has appeared just once on First Take since the day after that June 3rd blow up when she was live from the National Association of Black Journalists conference. That's the interesting part with Andrea Carter today or yesterday going back on ESPN.
June 3rd, Fabian. That the entire summer has gone. We about to go into the holiday season like that.
And the summertime is when the WNBA is going.
Right.
So the fact that Monica McNutt is not on there is crazy.
It's playoff time for the WNBA right now.
And that's our girl. We know we're familiar with Monica McNutt because she's a Knicks analyst and she's a Knicks broadcaster.
So let me ask you a question. What do you lean more towards? Do you lean more towards Stephen A suggesting that she not be on the show anymore, or do you lean more towards her saying, First Take, I don't want to be bothered?
I lean towards that. I lean towards the latter because Stephen A that was my thing with Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith. Max Kellerman does not provide that. Even though they might have a disagreement, Monica brought virality or virality, whatever. You got it. Steve, I keep telling you, he is a chief morsel. He is sassy. That's what he's what does he always brag about? What show he always brags about being on?
General Hospital.
I would never brag about that.
Listen. Let me tell y'all something. Days of Our Lives, General Hospital, all of these things are things that I watched with my grandmother as a young child, right? But I would never go on the basketball court and tell you niggas that. I would never come here and tell y'all that like I just did. But my point is that
I used to cut school and watch Days of Our Lives. Celeste was my girl.
Celeste was so bad. Anyway, we're off topic. Anyway, All My Children was my favorite.
I didn't watch that. I used to like Days of Our Lives because I was just like Celeste was.
Days of Our if I had to rank them, All My Children, General Hospital, Days of Our Lives.
General Hospital, I think probably, but I don't even know which one's better. I just watched it because of that, because it was kind of trash. It was stupid.
It's stupid. Come on, it's garbage.
Right.
It's garbage.
I'm sorry. I think we're losing subscribers.
We're talking about soap operas.
And I just called Stephen A. sassy for being on one.
And I just admitted to watching all of them.
Oh. You said all of them. Even though First Take is a soap opera.
Fish said, that's what we're doing now, soaps. Don't front, Fish. You the OG. You watched them from the beginning. Tell us about the old shit. You know about the old shit, OG.
You used to watch.
Drop your favorite one in the comment right now, Fish. Don't run from it. Come on, OG.
He used to watch Dallas, but he likes that. He wants to invite that kind of moment because he knows what it means for Twitter, the impressions, and it boils down to that. I've said it. I'm going to keep saying it. Stephen A. Smith is a broker between the ad money, the ad revenue for ESPN, and the content. That's what he is.
I just heard Dan Le Batard talk about that.
What did he say?
I watched the segment, him, Amin El Hassan, and the rest of his production team, and they were just talking about how ESPN has turned into a frat house.
Oh, right. I didn't finish that. Yeah.
So see, Fish couldn't run from it. He told us.
What was his joint?
All My Children in college got the girls in the student union. He was bagging joints. He will go to the student union because they watching it. So I'm gonna go there at the time that All My Children is on because the joints is in there. Fish diabolical, man.
And want to watch some more of this? Because we didn't even get to the real what's the word? Cringeworthy part.
Y'all never talk about the old guard like this. Nah, I ain't gonna let it slide. Caitlin Clark, unanimous rookie of the year. But what's even more impressive, she's first team WNBA. First.
You know, Shannon, I hear you, right? I hear you 100%. But another level of noise was coming from people.
Pause it. I understand now why you have to leak sex tapes. Look at this dude. Now I understand why you have to leak sex tapes. Look at how he's behaving on national TV. Look at him. Yo, he's always puckered. Why damn. They go always fuck it up, man. What the fuck, yo?
Then we see a real woman. Look at her cheekbones and all that. Look, my wife's not here right now.
Look at that bone structure, man. Look.
Yeah, we might have to fight over. You might have to kick my ass over, Flea.
Yeah, we could duke it out. Pause.
Damn, nah, I gotta get my gun then, man. Fuck that. Man, you just gonna beat my ass.
Me, I'll go get my shit. Nigga,
nah, because you can't know, because then you can't know. No. You're not gonna beat me up and take the girl. Nah, fuck that.
We could share. We going crazy now. Bring us back, Ray.
I probably gotta go first because I don't. Who knows? 6'2", athletic. Nah, I ain't going behind you.
I'm in the gym every day. Drink my
water.
Yeah,
eat
you
my
go
second,
green,
man.
eat my greens, and I'm pre-40 still. I'm pre-40. I'm knocking on the door, but I'm pre-40.
I'm blue chewing.
You were one of them who also tried to create a picture around Caitlyn that the league was against her based on the actions of less than 5 former players or current players, which also creates a lot of noise. Like we saw during the All-Star game, the league and the players in this league like Caitlyn. They enjoy Caitlyn. They had so much fun with Caitlyn. So there was noise created from every single
was pointing the finger directly at you. Because
no, not me.
That's what they're talking about.
That. But let me also make this.
So they cut her off explaining herself. Okay.
That's a point. You're not entirely accurate with what you just said. Because guess what? Whether it was Shannon, whether it was myself, we didn't paint a picture of the entire league. What we said was there was noise out there emanating from some. And those folks were very, very loud.
And the thing is, this is an 18-minute video. So why did you cut that portion out?
Conspicuous with their dissent towards things involving Caitlin Clark. When we pointed that out, we said why? What was the necessity for it? Because a rising tide lifts all boats. This woman is box office. Plus, she can play.
Shut up. I'm sick of him. That's why I can't watch the show. I don't watch it. I just watch the clips. Because the rising tide was it? Shut up.
And the combination of the two would ultimately give all of those wonderful ladies for the wonderful work that they had done over so many years. It would have been validated, even though it came through the conduit was her. Ultimately, it stood to benefit the collective whole. And rather than some out there accepting and embracing that, they resented it. And they tried to use the contributions of others who came before Caitlin Clark to justify their vitriol. Instead of owning the fact that what really was their objective, what really was their agenda, is that they resented the fact that this young lady who came into the league, took it by storm, and drew in a level of attention that they weren't able to draw. That was the reality.
One thing I want to say before we go to break, really quick, Dre. I think one of the impetuses, especially
what you got to say, Molly? I'm not gonna lie. What's her name again? Molly.
Molly's gorgeous.
I don't care for her, number one. Number two, when she starts talking, her points are garbage. I expect this to be garbage right now.
For this conversation was obviously her not getting an Olympic roster spot, right? Remember, we had a big debate over that. Was she deserving of it? Was it more the marketing, the hype? And here's what I'll say, and I know, Andrea, that you agree. At that point, some of us felt like maybe she hadn't proved it in the WNBA, but at this point, she certainly has. So she proved everybody wrong.
What about the guards? Let's talk about the guards that did make it. Talk about the guards that did make it.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Why are you leading like this, bro?
You were one of the ones that say she didn't earn it. How did the guard play that was in the Olympics? How did they play?
For sure, but we can't take how Caitlyn finished the W season and pivot that to how she would have done in the Olympics. That's a completely different argument.
Look at that point. Look at how she played up until that point. Chelsea Gray had only played one game before she went to the Olympics. She was out playing down.
Chelsea, pause. Every woman on that team has a body of work. Everybody that was selected on that team has a body of work within the W. We've been able to see multiple seasons of what they bring on a professional level. Yes, looking back, would the decision of them putting Caitlin Clark on the team been an okay decision? Yes. Can we look back and say maybe they could have done that? But the fact still remains, every woman that was on that team was a great player. Every woman on that team was well-deserving. Every woman on that team has a body of work that is not, Caitlin Clark's body of work on the pro level was not comparable at that point. It just wasn't. Shannon talking about what about Chelsea Gray? Chelsea Gray was hurt. She was hurt at the beginning of the year. But she's still a great player. Jackie Young, great player. Ionesco, was she on there? I think she was on there. Sabrina, great play. Like all of these. So we can't make it out to seem like, well, the other players that made the team weren't good enough, or she was better than them. How dare they make the team? Shannon, cut it out.
Outplaying Diana Taurasi at that point in time that she was on the team. It's a simple yes or a simple no.
But was Caitlin outplaying Diana Taurasi? But you can't just factor in current play, Shannon. That's all I'm saying. You got to factor in. Well, if you're factoring in Diana Taurasi's Olympic experience, Diana Taurasi's how she was with the team. I get it.
Shannon, hold on one second. Shannon,
Olympic lifetime achievement.
Shannon Sharp, hold on one second. What we're saying
that's a lie. That's a lie because Kevin Durant and somebody else, they got a lifetime achievement award because they wanted to get the most gold medals of all time. So that's always been a theme with
Kevin Durant knew that playing in this Olympics, once he was done, he would be the leading scorer in Olympic history for men's basketball. He knew that. And everybody on the team knew that. Grant Hill knew that. Jerry Colangelo knew that. Everybody knew that, which is why he was put on the team. Like, it's enough now.
Is you guys were right. That's what we're saying. You
no, Molly, you did not say that, Molly. No,
that's what you said.
That's not what you said, Molly. That is not what you said.
I literally just brought it up.
She did just say that.
You were talking about.
I gotta defend Molly. She did literally say that, but Andrea's arguing the opposite. And she made a good point about the lifetime. It is a lifetime achievement award for Diana.
You were talking about folks making the point that, at the time that they had picked the Olympic team, Caitlin Clark didn't necessarily deserve it based on her play on the court. When the point that Shannon and I was making at the time was that, wait a minute, in the end, there are people that have ended up on Team USA for reasons other than just their elite play at that particular moment in time.
She was a marketing whiz. Right. And she was everyone right, because she is a marketing whiz and she did it on the court. That's what I'm saying. Molly. So you were ahead of the curve.
You're not listening, Molly. You're not listening. I'm talking about your point, Molly. Your point.
And I'm explaining it to you at the curve.
You're not listening, Molly. You're not listening. I'm talking about your point, Molly. Your point.
And I'm explaining it to you.
At the end of the day, we were making the point. Do you want to promote the league or not? And people like Andrea and others were resistant to that playing a role in somebody making the roster for Team USA. And we were saying, hell with that. You want to promote the sport. You put that girl up in there, and people were appalled at that notion. That was the subject.
But Stephen A., this is just going to come from different perspectives because you all's initial point was a marketing point, and that was what I was arguing with. That was what I was arguing with, the marketing point for Caitlin. What Molly is trying to say, and what I agree with, is now that we have seen how Caitlin finished this season, there is a good basketball argument for her being on the team, for her making the team. There is now a great basketball argument. But listen, no, Shannon, listen. How she's playing right now, you just said it 5 minutes ago, was a testament to the rest that she had and the break that she had. We don't know how she would have played without that break. So we're saying Caitlin has now proven herself basketball-wise, but you all weren't making a basketball argument.
But that is the fact. And they're doing typically what a lot of niggas do when their wives are right. They start running from trying to be accountable for when they misspoke or they were wrong. They are wrong. And they're not wrong about what they're saying. They're wrong from a basketball perspective. From a marketing perspective, absolutely. She was a draw. Nobody is arguing that. The argument has always been there are 12 to 16 other women in the league currently. Forget yesteryear. We're not talking about years ago. We're talking about right now. Ryan Howard is nice. She is nice. Ogunbowale is nice. Ionesco is nice. Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray, Kelsey Plum, Asia Wilson, Nneka Ogwumike. Like, there's still women in this league that were nice and well deserving of playing Olympic basketball. She didn't prove anything yet from a basketball perspective. That is that's the argument, and that should be the argument. Forget the marketing side. They so hung up on the marketing side because they're marketing tools now.
Right. I think she did prove enough that Caitlin did the first half of the season, or before the Olympic break, that she was nice. This is a totally different Caitlin Clark at post-Olympic than pre-Olympic. And that's what Andrea is arguing, which she's conceding now, like, yo, if she was playing like this before the Olympic break, then I got y'all. I can't argue with you. Right? That's what she's saying. Then she would have to make it because now she's a super duper. She's breaking records. Less turnovers. Her scoring went up. It was closer to 20 points a game. I think she's averaging more than 20 a game after the Olympic break. And you're leading the league in assists. So yeah. But if you're on the side of the player, then you're gonna argue with what Andre is saying. You need the stats, you need the play, and we gotta honor our legend in Diana Taurasi because she got the Hall of Fame, Lifetime Achievement Award. That's what we recognize. The marketing side, strictly business side of it, of course, Shannon and Stephen A are right about that. But to yell and scream, and especially after she checkmated your ass, because all she's telling you is, yo, she proved me wrong. She proved me wrong about not even prove me. She didn't prove her wrong. She showed and proved a different level post-Olympic. That's all. They can't argue that. You can't argue this is not a totally different player, but a refined player. And she, because of the Olympic break where she didn't play, and as a matter of fact, the whole Indiana Fever team were reportedly practicing more often together.
It's got them in the playoffs, Fabian. They're a playoff team for the first time since Jules was born.
Right.
Like, come on, what are we talking about?
And Kelsey Mitchell came back from injury, right?
And Kelsey Mitchell Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark going forward might be one of the best backcourts in the league, if not the best backcourt in the league. And I love my Liberty. I love Ionescu. I love her, but Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell, tough, very tough.
Sporting Page, I don't know if you've noticed, but Caitlin Clark has just broken too many records to just mention the 2 of 13 from the playoffs. Like
a game. And we love the Sporting Page, but like a game?
What Clark did was what I told y'all the first month of the season. She needed to step back, stop trying to average 30 like in college and focus on playmaking and rest. Those bozos need to shut up. And the other thing was you tried to call her out and she countered. And you could have countered back with nothing but noise and saying, no, but we were right though. About it. It's like, okay, but who's to say that she comes back playing the same way with the team when they might have developed a deeper chemistry during the Olympic break? She just said that, and they're not going to counter that. They're not going to counter that. It's just like, but the marketing. Andrea called to slice them up, man.
Andrea, and that was really what the point, and that's why I got an appreciation for her and even Monica. They were trying their best to keep it basketball, and I love that. For them women to want to just keep it strictly basketball, let me show you how good we are to talk this game. Forget all the hyperbole, because we could do that too. That's the easy part, in my opinion. Getting up here shouting, yelling, screaming, cursing, all that goofy stuff Flea be doing. Nah, I want to, that's fun, whatever. But I want to impress people with, I could talk the game. I'm familiar with what, like that's more what it is. I know there's the entertainment aspect of it, but the entertainment aspect got to come after we gain people's trust by, does he know what he's talking about? Andrea, do you know what you're talking about? Okay, you know what you're talking about, cool. So now you can lean in to have some fun and have a balance of entertainment and educating the people out there. Like there's you got to gain trust before you start doing the goofy stuff.
I love this comment from Sporting Page. She's a rookie with many weaknesses. They will skip the basketball discussion and go to business. Nothing wrong with having a rookie sit down and wait their turn.
It's a fact.
And there's nothing wrong with
the fact.
Damn, I'm forgetting paying your dues.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with being reminded that you're still human. And there's a lot going on with Caitlin Clark. That's not the norm. That's not a normal thing. That's not a normal thing. And that's going to lead us to our next segment, but you got to hold me down for a couple minutes because I got to use the potty.
You're going to use the restroom mid-show? Yo, this guy's incredible. We're gonna get to the comments real quick because this guy is incredible. Tony Starks, you trying to tell me I look like Woody McClain? That's funny. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. We got Q Burrow brother, 164 Apple turnovers in 40 games. She's a rookie, man. She was a rookie and handed the ball. Like, go lead a professional team. Like, I'm almost sure that she won't have 164 turnovers next season. Like, you gotta allow her to grow. Let's see what else we got. Big Fish. Their whole focus was marketing, nothing else. They never once talked the game. Now they're trying to piggyback her improvement. That's lame. I fully agree with you, Fish. Fully agree with you. I think that's corny. Anytime that we hear about her playing the game, it's always attached to the business side of basketball, the marketing side of basketball. It's never really talking about basketball. And then when they do talk about basketball, you know, it's never talking about her improvements, how she's gotten better, what she did in terms of the first half of the season and how she's looking now. Like, keep it basketball for a second. This is the name of the game.
Thank you, Flea.
Of course.
Of course, made the point that Flea just disappear on me, man. I made the point that you made a great point, Sporting Page. Nothing wrong with having a rookie sit down and wait their turn. Y'all see this thumbnail? It's our guy, Kendrick Perkins, the leader of the commercial Knicks bandwagon. Kendrick Perkins believes the Boston Celtics are finito. Wow, wow, wow. Why are the Boston Celtics finito, Kendrick? Kendrico Federico. Why? Why?
No one in the NBA is scared right now of the Boston Celtics. I'm just letting you know this. This is why the New York Knicks went out and they went and got Mikal Bridges and they upgraded their roster. This is why the Philadelphia 76ers went out and got Paul George and upgraded their roster. They're coming into training camp feeling great. And to be honest with you, let's be real, a lot of people was looking at the path that the Celtics went through to win the NBA championship and say that they actually had an easy path for the competition and the teams that they played that were not healthy. So again, I love it that the Celtics are coming in with a chip on their shoulder, especially the two young superstars in Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Whether that's because they have a beef with the Olympics, like Jason Tatum said, one of the best things that happened was him not winning the Finals MVP. I think we're going to get a better version of Jason Tatum. But at the end of the day, teams did stack up in the rest of the league, and especially in the Eastern Conference, to go look the Celtics eye to eye, and they're going to do that this season. It's a reason that we're on this streak right now where teams haven't repeated. It's hard. Teams are getting better every single offseason.
So that was Kendrick Perkins on basically everyone in the NBA has gotten better, and the Celtics have pretty much stayed the same. And shout out to Sean Bernard, because I love this comment that he made. Sean Bernard, he's a Philly sports media aficionado.
He tapped in with us. He tapped in with us a few months back during the playoffs. So big shout out to Sean Bernard. Go ahead. We're
gonna have him tap back in. His response to that Kendrick Perkins comment was, did everyone just decide the goal of the offseason is to give the Celtics as much bulletin board material as possible? Which was my thoughts exactly. Also, I see Jason Tatum speaking to what Joe Mazzulla told him when he first seen him in the offseason, this past offseason.
That's what you mean. That's part of it, yeah. Motivation. I guess you could say that, and if you want to simplify it. In real time, it was tough, but it's and Joe. I talk to Joe a lot. Joe was probably the happiest person in the world that I didn't win Finals MVP, and that I didn't play in 2 of the games in the Olympics. So that was odd, but if you know Joe, it makes sense. I didn't play in 2 of those games. That's what you mean?
That's part of it, yeah.
So basically, Jason Tatum speaking about not winning the Finals MVP and not playing in 2 Olympic games. It seemed like it was bothering him, and he was speaking to his coach Joe Mazzulla all summer or for some time. He said, and I don't know if you can hear the audio, but he to quote Jason Tatum, he said he talked to Joe Mazzulla a lot. Joe was probably the happiest person in the world that he didn't win the Finals MVP and didn't get to play in 2 Olympic games. He found that odd, but if you know his coach Joe Mazzulla, it makes sense. It feels like ever since they drafted Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, it's always been a Jason Tatum versus Jaylen Brown thing. That's resurfaced this summer, especially with Jaylen Brown missing the Olympics because of the Nike controversy and conspiracy. But Flea, it does feel like everybody's just piling on and trying to make this a Lakers, Kobe Bryant and Shaq situation and trying to bring drama to this team that with 2 guys who could probably be all NBA next year, and they're motivating the hell out of somebody that I always said always needs to play a motivation. I'm getting sick of this, Flea.
Bro, they won the championship. They won the championship. Lord have mercy. Like, they won an NBA championship. And the way that it's talked about this Celtics team is as if they're still on the cusp of winning a championship. This team won 64 games last year, right?
After being on the cusp for so many years, broke through.
This team won 64 or 66, whatever. It was 60 plus games they won last season. 60 plus. They did not lose more than 20 games last season, including the playoffs. Yo, you play who's in front of you, man. You play who's in front of you. There's plenty of NBA Finals runs and NBA championship runs that were more difficult, and there's plenty of runs that were absolutely a cakewalk. There's plenty. We can go back. The research is there. Go do your homework. Y'all know what I always say. Go do your homework. It's there. So okay, they didn't. What was their road? Miami first round. No, excuse me. No, Miami first round. Cleveland second round. And Indiana third round.
All injured.
All 3 teams were dealing with injuries. And then they get up, then they see Dallas, who was probably the hottest team in the NBA, and they took care of them. I'm not interested, to be honest with you, Fabe. I'm not interested in the soap opera that they're trying to create. Look what I did there, soap opera. We talked about the soaps. You know what I did. But full circle. I'm not interested in the soap opera that they're trying to create with those 2 guys. Those 2 guys are young guys. Those 2 guys come to play every year. They never dogging it. Like, do we want Tatum to be different, right? Do I not want him to be a 6'10" Steph Curry? Absolutely. I don't need him to be a 6'10" Steph Curry. I need you to be Jason Tatum. Go get it. Yes, I would like for that to change about your game. But in terms of like always playing hard, those guys play both ends of the floor. They're always available. They don't dog it. You never hear that, load management stuff with those 2 guys. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's not attached to those 2 guys. So, I don't know. I just, they're trying to create something that shouldn't be there. Lord have mercy, keep them young guys together. Kendrick Perkins just said it's difficult to repeat. And what have I been saying to you, the last couple times? When's the last time we had a back-to-back? Golden State. That was in 18. 2018 is a very long time ago. COVID makes it seem like 10 years ago, right? Like it feels very, so he's right. Teams are getting better. But if I felt like any team was in the best position to repeat, it's this team. It's definitely this team. I didn't think Denver was going to do that. I think I told you that. Like they didn't upgrade. They weren't going to be better. I didn't think the Lakers were going to repeat. I didn't think Milwaukee was going to repeat in 21. We damn sure didn't think Golden State was coming back after that 22 run. We felt like that. All right, that was it. Put a bow on that. Ride off into the dusk. What's my man from the Westerns? What's my man name from the Westerns?
Clint Eastwood?
John Wayne.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah, just ride off into the sunset, man.
I think the Lakers were the last team that had a chance to repeat the most or the best. I love their defense going into the next season. They still had a lot of those pieces together. That was before the Russell Westbrook trade. Then AD got hurt and they lost to the Phoenix Suns when the Phoenix Suns went to the championship to play the Bucks. But the Celtics do have a chance to repeat because they're still that good and they're waiting for Porzingis in the wings.
Yeah.
But I also think I don't think they got better. I don't think that they added any pieces. I think that I saw that the team is for sale and they locked in all these players with an absurd amount of money. Like they're all maxed out basically, and it's your core four, and it's great. Don't get me wrong, but Drew Holiday got 1 or 2 years of Drew Holiday left, in my opinion. Jaylen Brown is getting better. And what scares me more than anything else, forget about all that, is Jason Tatum was never, even the last couple of months, it's been the speculation of where did his shooting go? Where did his shooting go? And it's still...
Go Google it right now, Fabe. I need to stop you real quick because I just read the report. There's a report. I forget who reported it, but Drew Hanlon and Jason Tatum have been working tirelessly on improving mechanics of his jump shot. So apparently there's just some stuff going on with form, mechanics, all that type of stuff that he's diligently right now trying to correct. Because what he shot in the Olympics, if you go back to the percentages, we could talk about him not playing and Kerr not playing him, but when he didn't shoot it well. He didn't shoot it well.
Including the playoffs.
He wasn't shooting the ball well. Not high percentages like he normally does. Like he didn't shoot it over 45%. He didn't. So that's what I'm saying. Like there was a report that came out that said that he's getting, he's doing some fine tuning.
Jason Tatum has been working on his jump shot with his longtime trainer, Drew Hanlon. Jason Tatum's three-point shooting fell off a cliff towards the end of last season, 2023, 2024. The three all-time NBA first-team forward took a total of 175 three-point shots between the start of April and the end of the postseason in June. He averaged 28.7 during that time period. At Media Day, the NBA champion and two-time Olympic gold medalist confirmed that he's been working on his shot. Been working with my trainer, Drew, a lot recently in the last few weeks. Pickup points, hand placement, getting lower, keeping my shoulders forward and things like that. There were some things I could have fixed, but in the midst of the playoffs, trying to manage your rest, it's a little bit tougher. I was still playing well. I just wasn't shooting the ball as well as I would have liked. And obviously we were winning. So it wasn't the time or the place to try to fix those things in that moment. And that's just what scares me. Now the Celtics are starting to scare me because Tatum is a guy that, yes, I love Jalen Brunson. Yes, he was a top 6 MVP candidate, but there's no reason why SGA had a better season than Jason Tatum last year. He just shouldn't, because unless Tatum is having an off, he's not as motivated. He doesn't get to his spots like SGA either. SGA is becoming a crafty dude. And Jason Tatum has all the capabilities in the world of being more crafty. And I get he is the engineer of the offense. That offense is run through him. The driving kick, similar to James Harden a little bit, but his long arms, being able to kick the ball out from underneath the basket, like those are things that I don't know how many people could do in the NBA besides the Lucas of the world who could pass like you know, like I don't say like magic, but just extremely well. I don't want to see Jason Tatum motivated. I don't want to say I don't believe in him. Selfishly, I don't, Flea. Like as a basketball fan, of course you want to see greatness. He's perfectly capable of being the best player in the NBA. More so than SJ and Jason Tatum should not be a conversation. Luka and Jason Tatum, for me personally, should not be a conversation. I always compare them to Paul George, Lamar Odom, T-Mac. Paul George could have, of course, LeBron is there. It's tough to be the best player. But T-Mac could have been the best player in the game. Jason Tatum has a chance, man. He's 6'9", 6'10".
Well, here's my issue with how we assess Tatum. Tatum is just now coming into his prime. Let's call a spade a spade. Like people have expedited his growth because all they've been doing over there in Boston is win. Right? All they've been doing since he got there is win. They finally won the big one last year, and that's year 6, 7. My issue with that dude is that yes, he's a Kobe disciple. And what I mean by that is growing up, watching him, being enamored by him, having the opportunity to train with him, all that kind of stuff. Yes, I understand that, you know, you cut from that tree. Kobe Bryant was the best tough shot maker I think we've ever seen in the NBA.
Yes. Me and Fish were just talking about that the other day. Yeah.
Right? To take some of the toughest shots we've ever seen, and you know in your heart of heart that's going in. Because he hits tough shots. That was Bean. Let me help y'all understand something. And Bean is my favorite player of all time. He was not an efficient scorer. He wasn't a guy that shot high percentages from the field or three. He just didn't. That doesn't take away from his greatness, but that was him. And he put himself in a position to be able to get away with that rather. Because he's going to hit timely shots. He's going to play, keep you in games. He's going to win games for you. Tatum can't become that guy that just takes tough shots. And that's all he does. Sidestep three-pointers, step back, 180 jump shots off of the back leg and off that, all that stuff. The abilities that dude has, he could be as efficient as Kevin Durant. It's not Kevin Durant. Not Kevin Durant. He is not him. But he could be as efficient if his shot selection changed. We talk about it all the time, Fabian. He lets defenders off the hook time and time again because he gets to a spot 18 feet away from the basket when you could get 5 feet from the basket and own your matchup. 48 minutes owning your matchup. I go back to that season, he averaged 30. He was the first Boston Celtic to average 30, I think, since Bird. Did Bird ever average 30? Maybe, I think. That sounds right. But he was the first Celtics to average 30 in a long time. It probably was Bird. But I go back.
You mentioned it before. It is Bird.
It is Bird. Okay. So, but I go back to that season, bro. Less tough shots, less fadeaway jumpers. He was getting to it. That's why when, you know, he fizzled out in the finals and in the it was like, well, damn, he had such a great. All the shot selections that he was taking in the finals were completely different than what he was doing the entire season. So that's my only gripe with that young man. Take advantage of the matchups every single night, because 9 times out of 10, whatever team y'all playing, they have nobody to defend you, to stop you, right?
Well, we stand corrected. Jason Tatum is the first player in Celtics history to average 30-plus points per game in an NBA season.
First guy, see?
That's cool. I think the KD is more of a stretch because that's like KD's been doing that his whole life. It feels like. I think the Kawhi, Michael Jordan, Kobe is more his lane. I don't know if he's too. I don't want to go all Dusty Baker and if his lower, if he has the lower build to really push these guys back, it feels like not that he's weak, but when you play, I'm not gonna say he's Karl Anthony Towns, but there's a not giving up, but there's just like it feels like when you got to put the footwork in and that mid range, it feels like way more work and way more skillful and way more effort, And I see him being potentially more Kawhi, Kobe, Jordan than Kevin Durant, if that makes sense.
I understand what you're saying. I just felt like his efficiency could rival Kevin Durant's because he just get easier shots.
And
right?
Kawhi.
Right. Just if you're taking 6 threes a game, it's okay to take 3 or 4.
Like SGA, went
right?
from 6
But
threes to 2.
The other side of this too, Fabian, is that the NBA has turned into an analytics thing, and it's turned into GMs and president of basketball operations having things to say about what's happening on the court, having influence on how you're making decisions on a court as a coach, assistant coach, strength and conditioning coach, developmental coaches. Like all of those guys are now influenced by these stat geeks and guys that just crunch numbers. Well, the games that Jason Tatum takes 7 or more threes, the Boston Celtics win by 8 points. Like, bro, take better shots. Take better shots. Because when the finals come, when the playoffs come, and the court starts shrinking, and you got to be able to get to your bread and butter, 2 or 3 spots in the court that nobody in the world can stop you. Tatum every time I see him, it doesn't look like he has that. He doesn't have something that he could get to that you, me, the best defender in the world, God, nobody could stop him. He don't go to that.
And the first player I thought of when you said that is Julius Randle, who doesn't have a go-to, which is why he struggles in crunch time. Because what are you going to when all the pressure's on you? You're going to go with what's your habits. But Julius Randle and SGA, in the face of the analytics world, did start taking less 3-pointers and start taking more shots in the paint. Last season, that was with Julius Randle, and I don't care what the number said before that. That was our favorite Randle was last year before he got hurt. SGA took that leap 2 seasons ago, and ever since then he's turned into an MVP candidate. If Tatum does that, I'm totally scared because he's not even a real top 3 MVP candidate. I don't think he's ever been. He might have been top 3,
maybe at some point.
He went to the finals, but
yeah.
But he still didn't scare me because he did leave it on the table. He did leave the paint out of the table because you're controlling the free throw to me, which is like the line of scrimmage in a sense in the NBA. Like if you control the free throw line, it's a wrap.
And that's I'm feeling what you're saying. Like if Tatum, there was a big thing when Melo was a Knick, right? And we could address this on Knicks Rehab. But my biggest thing with Melo when he was a Knick was when you get the rock, you massaging that thing too much. Nothing happens for the next 6 to 7 seconds because you got it and the ball stops. Tatum gets the rock, make your decision in 3 seconds or less. What you gonna do with it? You gonna put it on the floor, you gonna rise over your defender, you gonna get the hockey assist. Make your decision in 3 seconds or less, man. It can't be a dance, ha 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 ha, dance. I don't need that from you. Nobody can guard you. Get to your spot, get a bucket, and go get another stop. That's my issue with him. Get it and go. You should know by the time Jaylen Brown or whoever it is that's swinging you the rock, you should know as soon as you get the rock, what am I getting to? If I'm in the short corner, if I'm foul line extended, if I'm top of the key, if I'm in the dunker spot, wherever I'm at, I get the rock. I need to know what I'm doing in 3 seconds or less.
Right. That's how I feel about him.
Yeah, he just doesn't do that for me.
That's why LeBron is such an anomaly because he got away with a lot of that for his whole career. Because he didn't have to he did work on some of his post game, but it's not magical. It's not what it should be, in my opinion. But you get away with that when you're a alien. He's a damn alien, and Tatum is teetering on alien. And if he gets anywhere near this, like if he's really motivated to shoot better and to really just get more of a mid range game, whatever it is, it scares me. He's finished in the top 5 one time, and it was the 2022-2023 season. So that was 2 seasons ago. All-Star, All-NBA first. He's been on All-NBA first team 3 straight years. On All-NBA third team in his third year.
No other person in the NBA has done that. If you look at the last All-NBA, if you look at the last 3 All-NBA first teams, he's the only one consistent on the team the last 3 years. It's all changed over the last 3 years. He's the constant.
Well, Flea gotta go get some beauty rest, y'all. I will stick around for the comments. Unless you're gonna stick around for another couple minutes, but you're scratching your ear. That looks like a no.
No, I'm scratching my ear because I don't like I haven't liked your behavior since the top of the show. I haven't liked it, and we got through it. This was a great show, but I didn't like your behavior then. I don't like it now because now you trying to tell me I gotta go to sleep. I didn't even change my clothes from work.
No, you have to get rest because you're not gonna yell at me.
Dinner, I'm ready to eat dinner.
I called you. No, I called you after our super reaction, flaming good with Arenas. After I was on there for an extra hour with the people in the comments.
Midnight.
Yep.
I
knew you was up.
You work nights.
Yeah, no. Lies. You were up at some point rewatching. Lies.
Mind your business. You gotta mind your business, Ray.
Or maybe you were. Maybe I should not call you until when. What's wrong with me? Maybe you were sneaking out.
Come on, bro. You got. And when I saw it, I was pissed because I missed it. Because I did watch. I did go back and watch. You're a nut. Yo, Fish got in my when Fish DM'd me and said Fabian is flaming Gilbert right now. I said, oh shit, I gotta go back and watch. I got to.
He got some nerve.
I got a stake out to get to.
Yeah.
Yo, Fish, leave me alone, Fish. Leave me alone.
Dum 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 dum.
Oh man.
I'm gonna stick around and read some of the comments. Will you do that, Flea, or do you have to go?
No, man. I'm about to go eat dinner with my daughter and my mama, man.
So Aisha playing your drum.
Play my drop. Never the little one. You don't gotta work tonight. That's why you still on here, right?
Correct.
Make sure you're able to be found once you finish this. And once I finish dinner and baby Flea is asleep, make sure you're able to be found. Yeah, I'm out.
Little Flea. Baby Flea. King Speech says Jason Tatum equals Anthony Joshua of the NBA. I told y'all. You did, King Speech. And you're a big-time Duke fan. You've been watching him for very long. Sporting page. Your thing isn't coming up as a member, but I'm pretty sure we're on one of the pages. Remember, Tatum is learning to be a part of a system, and he has to catch and shoot more than ever. He isn't allowed to spam pick and roll anymore. I don't think he's gonna be Well, maybe you're right, and that's what he's prepping his shot for. Because it makes them way more lethal to become catch and shoot. A lot of the shot. Imagine if he makes those shots in the playoffs, he's gonna win the Finals MVP, and then he's probably gonna be in stride during the Olympic run, and they're gonna play him more often. So that's why I think Joe Mazzulla said, "I'm happy you didn't get Finals MVP, and I'm happy you didn't play those games because now you have the motivation to. I don't have to speak to you much, right? You saw the results. You're not in there. We won, and part of the reason why you won is because the team played really great. Let me go to the top. So many comments. You guys are crazy. That's Flea in the building. What up, Lorenzo? Shutting down the noise. Bodega, what's going on? Gondoles. Sporting page says hits the like. You heard him. You got to catch the upload, Lorenzo. Well, hope you do. We will see you there. We got any more? Celtics fans are annoying. I'm a Celtics fan myself, and we make me sick. They think you can't criticize a team soft like Tatum. I just don't speak to those fans of anybody. If you're too soft like that, I don't want to talk to you. Can't be sensitive about this life in general. That's why we created this, which I'm pretty sure you're sure. 26% from three. 26% from three is hilarious. Being humble has nothing to do with his lack of assertiveness and ability to use force in games. I'm not talking about his demeanor. I'm talking about his approach to the game. He's 6'8" and scared of contact. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I totally agree. I totally agree with that. That's always been his thing. But like Flea said, the fact that he's entering his prime, working on his shot, working on those flaws, it makes it even scarier because he's already first team All NBA 3 years in a row. This is him being that. This is him with an off finals. Corey, I'm not reading that. Dime, you happen to catch that Kawhi off-season procedure tweet? Yeah, I think they're saying Kawhi might not be ready for the beginning of the season. Speaking of salty, McNutt sounds like a McDonald's menu item I don't want to try. Is Caitlyn real name Michelle? Martin Liberty versus Dream as we speak. It's a humdinger. Stewart, Ioneska, and Howard are cooking. Get off McNutt. You're crazy, Robert Paulson. Salute to Sharp for mentioning Lauren Jackson. People sleep on my goat. Stephen A is a character of the character, Stephen. Sport Page is moving up in the top 5 funniest people we got here. Both Sharp and Smith try to portray themselves as knowing and being able to break down the game like a Hubie Brown, and they are incapable of doing that. So they ramble and yell. Speaking of Hubie Brown, I just read a story how what's his name? Is it Maurice Lucas? Hemmed up Hubie Brown in the 1970s. Maurice Lucas was crazy. Look him up. Knocked out Otis Gilmore. Stephen A's actual job is to keep his foot on the neck of whomever his sponsors, Bob Iger, tell him to. Kyrie Irving, get him. I don't even think they have to tell him. He just knows. Like, you know, I can't use my analogy, but, you know, little foreplay action. You know what a toucher. And you get the response. I guess Stephen A's been touched by the Disney family. Y'all know Flea played Bobby Brown in the New Edition movie, right? Well, you're Tony Starks. Tony Starks, where you coming from with this? Where you coming from with this? They brought Mrs. Carter on strictly to berate her about the CC thing. They are CC's guard dogs, not to mention of her performance in the playoffs. Yeah, that's what it felt like. It felt more like they were trying to prove her wrong and check her, and she defended herself quite well. Even if she's wrong, she's right she was right in that point. It was a great counter. It was a great counterpunch. Like, she wasn't playing like this in the first place. And if she was, I would have looked crazy if she had the first half of the season and she's not, and she's leading the league in turnovers and is averaging 20 damn near, or over 20 points. Shannon and Stephen A are doing the bidding of their bosses. Shame. You know what? I miss my Monica. That's the thing I didn't talk about. It's dangerous for Monica McNutt to openly shoot at Stephen A like that. That was kind of crazy. You were speaking to his contract and you antagonizing him. And at the end of the day, First Take is this platform where you go on there and you get bigger on, right? You obviously increase your celebrity on there and your visibility. But Monica McNutt, I don't know. She's looking like she's coming off like, I don't care about any of that. Because Stephen A also, if you hear him, he's always talking about who he put on the TV, and she doesn't want to be a part of his credibility. You know what I mean? Like, this is kind of a little war tactic from her. So I wouldn't be surprised if she goes on other WNBA shows and refuses to go on First Take to take away his whole, like, I gave you this opportunity. Because that's what it feels like. And that's who he is, which I keep mentioning. It will come to a head with him and Shannon Sharp, because at some point, Shannon Sharp's going to realize oh, Stephen A was trying to wedge me out from Skip Bayless and bring me on here. He's gonna get the credit for that. Monica McNutt wants nothing to do with that. First Take ain't watchable until Mad Dog is on the show. Right, Mad Dog brings it's that New York flavor. Whether you agree with him or not, because he's always talking about like Bob Cousy at 38,000 points. It's like, all right, bro. Not saying Bob Cousy wasn't nice. New York City in the building. See, now you're talking, Fabian. Stephen A. Smith see Shannon Sharp skyrocketing. Look at the YouTube channel. Stephen A. is being passed over incrementally. He is. That's why he's working on the YouTube channel. But I think ultimately his goal is to just be the spokesperson for ESPN. Because if you notice, I'm trying to start to watch, college sports in general. And I'm watching the SEC channel, and which is owned by ESPN. ESPN has an SEC channel, right? And Fox has the Big Ten channel. And first of all, there's a big difference between the two production. On the production side, the SEC channel is ill. The graphics, everything is crazy. But on top of that, you saw Stephen A. Smith jump on the what's his name, Paul Feinbaum show. I haven't noticed it yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if ESPN and ABC and Disney in general were promoting those Southeastern Conference teams more, the SEC more, because they have they have a vested interest by boosting that channel up. Well, Stephen A. Smith, that's who they chose to send to that channel to talk to Paul Feinbaum about college sports. Right? Like that's a clear. That's you know what now. Flea said it, and now I'm gotta double down on it. They were defending Caitlin Clark so much, especially Stephen A. Smith, because he knows that his skill is the reporting or whatever it is, but it's more so about how much money he brings in with advertising and the marketing, right? He sees that when they put him on this channel. They're putting him as the face of, they're putting him to help promote the SEC channel on the SEC channel that ESPN owns, right? They're using you to promote their brand. So he sees Caitlin Clark and him with that. And that's part of the reason why he's biased to his own vision of his own path. So Caitlin Clark and Caitlin Clark not being chosen for the Olympic game was a missed opportunity for Stephen A. Smith, but there's also a thing to a rite of passage that Stephen A. Smith forgets that he went through. But back to my original point, before I digressed, Stephen A. is promoting all these things for ESPN. And I don't know if Shannon Sharp can really do what Stephen A. Smith is doing for ESPN because he has no interest in that. He knows how much leverage he has on the independent, owning his own stuff. He has the Club Shay Shay thing underneath the volume. And I think I mentioned this before, but Colin Cowherd is not even taking a salary to help promote Club Shay Shay. What happened about? He didn't eat his lunch. He did. He ate the sandwich here. He ate it here. There's a sandwich in there. Is that for tomorrow? They all got to dance for the big wigs. Max Kellerman brought analytics and cocaine allegedly. That's hilarious. Victor Newman was the greatest villain. Oh yeah, Victor Newman. I forgot his girl with the blonde hair, Christina. But Victor Newman wasn't Days of Our Lives. That's As the World Turns. I used to watch that too. Stephen A. is a lemon drop. Let's see, let's get to it. Sharp looks like Wesley Snipes in that movie Too Long. No, she's not, Robert Paulson. I'm sorry, Andrea. I didn't hear a word you said. Good God, you are beautiful. Is that Anchorman? What's wrong with playing on General Hospital? He Made Bread. Nothing wrong with it. It's just the fact that he harps on that so much, and it's like he's a natural soap opera guy. So it was just funny pointing that out. Young and the Restless. Victor was on Young and the Restless. Right? Not As the World Turns. He might have been on both. I thought As the World Turns and Young and the Restless kind of had like crossover. The characters would cross over. Molly sucks. When Jalen Rose said he was a power couple with her, the sporting page knew it was finished. So I'll be looking kind of funny at Jalen Rose sometimes. Clark set the record for most turnovers in a debut game. The noise was let her earn her own spot. What she did in college wasn't indicative of the next level. Caitlin had to start trying to drop 30 and focus on playmaking, which is what she did and played better. How come rookies can't earn their stripes? What is going on here? Good Lord, Shannon and Steven are embarrassing. Yeah, because even there's a couple of reasons why Larry Brown disgusts me, and him benching Carmelo, D. Wade, and LeBron in that Olympic run. I think it was 2000. Whenever they lost, after all the veterans were clearly drunk and high, but those young bulls, they could have came in there and took the world over. But that was kind of a rite of passage too. Like, you can't get in the game over these guys, even though we were struggling. They still said you guys sit on the bench. Or Larry Brown said that. So the rite of passage, we're forgetting that because it's the TikTok era, it's the social media era, tap of a button era, and you get everything in the palm of your hands. Clark leads the league in turnovers as well as we speak. Apples. Shannon Sharp, would you do the same thing when LeBron James gets his lifetime? Right. He's gonna say no, but he's a marketing guy still. It's like, okay. It would have been better for the US to blood Clark instead of taking Diana Taurasi. I think it would have been big time for her to be, going around the world. Because even if she didn't play any basketball games, she would have got like the same treatment as Jason Tatum, right? You can see that happening. The irony, the two males wearing salmon and pink. Production in the back room did it on purpose, so-called. Andrea, come here. Shannon Sharp should wear a cape next time. He's on. She just cooked them. She did. If we making an argument for the light-skinned baddie, I get it, but come on. This is First Take. Argument is what they do. That's true too, Tony Stark. You got to be prepared for arguing. But she was, if I'm not mistaken, at the end of that segment, they couldn't get any words out, and they were going to commercial, and Andrea came back. Because I don't watch First Take like that. I just happened to watch it that day, and I was just like, that's why I text Flea, like, yo, they tag teaming your girl Andrea. They came back from commercial, and they were supposed to continue that argument, and Andrea she gracefully folded. She was like, I know we got to get to the NFL talk. I just wanted to say this 1-2 thing. We're having a great season, and then she just left. And you can see Stephen A's face, which is like, whoa, Flea, speak for yourself. She couldn't let Caitlin have her own league. Fabian, stop it. She went 2 for 3. Oh, yeah, I said right there. 164 Apple turnovers in 40 games. Okay. Flea, your tie is done proper. Excellent. They were dropping a lot of her passes early. That was quick, Fabian. I tried my hardest. We have a shoulder run. You must have a lot of fiber in your system. No, it wasn't. I haven't drinking a lot of water lately, so for a turnovers a game, that takes the wind out of the sails. The problem is having football players break down basketball based on their 20-point a game in high school fast break layups, thinking they was going D1. Kendrick Perkins' mustache was not cut out. I don't even peep that. With that being said, why does KG, Pierce, and Perk talk that one chip like it was a repeat, like Kobe and Gasol didn't come back and cook them? Yeah, the Bulls was looking like a problem until Alex got hurt. Alex Caruso. They were competitive. That was one thing about Billy Donovan. I'm a little confused by him. They had him like as like a top, a bottom 10 coach. Was it at a CBS poll? Let's see what they do with Giddey. Oh, you guys talking about Boston? I mean, the Chicago Bulls in there. After Tatum flopped in 2022 finals, he has never been the same. It's mental. He has no 1-2 dribble pull up or no post game. And that's the thing. He really has this. I think he has the same game, and the league has caught up to it. So you got more and more athletes, scouting you to get you out of those spots. 1-2 dribble pull up on the way. Bird was 29.9. That's amazing. Tatum gets in trouble when his chest is too open on his handle, and you're able to get physical with him. He has to find spots forward and not sidestep 3. Yeah, the sidestep 3 irks me, Fish. That's what irks me about him. That's what really irks me about him. Should I say it again? That's what really irks me about him. Tatum got to fix his shooting mechanics. That's why he don't get to spots like that. He has to work on the mechanic. Yeah, I get it. That makes sense. You work on the mechanics so that when you get to that spot, me and Fish were talking about this the other day, how Kobe was teaching a jab step, and he can open you up open you up defensively. He'll take the jab step, but he also would practice the shot in between. You know, this he would take before he takes that jab step. He would just stop his foot short to be able to shoot from his 3-point stance as close as possible. That way, if he starts hitting those shots, you have to fall for the jab step, right? Because you have to defend that shot, which is just, and he says it in the video, it's really a bad shot, but you can practice from over here. Sporting Page believes Randall is a bad matchup for the Celtics. I agree. I ain't practicing my shot with anyone named Brickley. That's pretty funny. You think Steve Kerr cares? Not at this point. Please, who's the best American at this point? Fabian has called Flea an Uber. Maybe so. Good memory. On what, King Speech? It's not a member because I choose to comment on the channel with less subscribers, but I am a member on the other one. Sporting Page, you are the man. Shannon was defending Clark so tough. I'm starting to think her mom is. Oh, man. Paul Feinbaum and SEC Network struggling with all those good teams they can discuss, but they got bad karma because they hate on Dion. I bet they wish Dion was in the SEC. Yeah, maybe so, but he's not too far off what he's saying about Dion. Like, Dion was starting to, we all love Dion, you know, and he's going to be a polarizing dude the way he comes off. But Paul Feinbaum has his own show. I don't know how people watch it. He is mad boring. I like his intel. Again, I'm trying to get into it. And a bunch of callers call up. He interviewed this kid, not from Georgia, something Starks, cornerback. He won like the humanitarian award or something like that. That was dope. You know, so he's highlighting a lot of those guys. But the callers love him. I guess remember they're in the South. He might look like somebody's great grandfather. Them big ass dumb ears. He kind of look. Paul Feinbaum kind of looks like Rupert Murdoch, right? He's too proud to be on the soap. Stay out of Hollis with that. Flea daughter said my favorite part of the intro. She killed it. Yeah. Michael James, what's going on, man? Yep, Young and the Restless. Oh, yo, we got a lot of dudes. They talk about the shows they used to watch, man. Victor Garakis was Days, which maybe you mixed up with Victor Newman. Yes. Young and the Restless. Victor Newman. He's the one that looked like, what's your man from back in the day with the brocha, with the mustache? That all the girls loved him, man. He was in Longest Yard. I'm forgetting his name. Paul Feinbaum is the Barnaby Jones of sports. A lot of soap opera watchers in the comment. I'm telling you, Paul Feinbaum was cool before all the hating. Some things are true in what he says, but a lot of things are not. And he ate crow after that Baylor game. Oh, you think so? Yes, Burt Reynolds. Doesn't Victor from Young and the Restless look like Burt Reynolds? Well, folks, I caught up to as many comments as I could before I run off and get my beauty rest. Look at my eye. Look at the bags in my eyes. Thank you guys for participating. Yo, Flea, maybe you get to hear. You didn't even hear the bombs go off yesterday, Flea. Going bananas. Going bananas. Thank you all. And to all, a good night. AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.